This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. And by Lee Health.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Welcome to another edition of Lee Pitts Live. Where are we? We're at the Health Department here in Lee County. They're hosting us out here in North Fort Myers, and the accommodations have just been outstanding. We'll be here for the next 3 weeks, bringing you some interesting shows here on Lee Pitts Live on Fox 4. Today we got a fabulous show in store for you. Tashika Perry will be here with Girl Talk. Of course, she does a great job with that. We also get a chance to talk to Trish Routte. She's the manager for South Florida Crime Stoppers. It's always very educational, particularly here in the holiday season, to talk to Trish, and we'll talk to Benny Ambush. He's the director for the upcoming play. August Wilson's Fences is coming to the Arcade Theater. We'll get all the details on that as well. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back. All right, Southwest Florida, glad you stayed with us. And you're going to be very educated on this particular topic because we'll get a chance to talk to Trish. Let's bump you in, Trish. It's always good to get you here. People always tell me they learn something new every day. I was walking the other day related to Crime Stoppers. I was in Edison Mall, and I was in the food court, and two people came up to me. Hey, you Lee Pitts, blah, blah, yeah. And then they said, you know, that Crime Stoppers show, that's really interesting because I actually called into Crime Stoppers and I got money. And then I started asking, well, how did that process work? And they told me that you guys give them a number and they're able to go into the bank and get paid for providing that information. And go ahead and elaborate on that part first.
Yeah, it pays. When people call us, we're kind of the go-between between law enforcement and the public. You know, people sometimes just don't want to be seen talking to an officer at the scene of a crime, and we get that, totally get it. So they can contact us completely anonymously, either at home, on their phone, wherever they feel comfortable, and provide us with information they have on a wanted fugitive or an unsolved crime. We immediately take that information, we pass it along to the appropriate law enforcement agency. If that information leads to an arrest, we pay out cash. Mm-hmm. And that tipster only has a code number. It's just a series of 5 or 6 numbers. That is the only way that we know them from beginning to end. We never ask for their name, never ask for what their relationship to the suspect is. When that arrest happens, we arrange for them to pick up their reward in cash. So there's no, you don't have to go to the bank and give your ID. There's no, nothing at all. No one's going to ask your name. You go in, you give that code number. They know how much cash to give you, and you walk out the door.
That's beautiful. Now, I went straight to the money early because it's the money. If it ain't the money, it's the money.
It's the money.
Hey, now let's back up for a second for people who may have seen you on the show, which should not be anybody, but what is Crime Stoppers?
Crime Stoppers, we are a nonprofit program. We work with 16 different law enforcement agencies in Lee, Collier, Charlotte, Hendry, and Glades counties. And like I said, we are the middleman. We are the place that you can go to provide information to help law enforcement solve crimes, get dangerous fugitives off of our streets, report suspicious activity, drugs, things like that. Even hit and runs this time of year. Hit and runs are a real problem. You go up and down 75 or 41 anytime, day or night, and there's a wreck. And sometimes people will get in a wreck and they'll just leave the scene. That's a crime. So any kind of information that you have, you can report it to us. And then if that information leads to an arrest, we're going to pay out cash. And we pay out a lot of money. And it's important to know that this is not taxpayer dollars. We get a grant that's actually funded by criminals. So when they're sentenced, they have to pay a $20 fine. Of that, about $16 comes back to us in the form of a grant. So we're actually using bad guys' money to put more bad guys behind bars.
I love that concept.
It's a well-oiled process.
I didn't know where that money came from. You talked about the various counties that you particularly cover. Do we see any particular type of crime that happens more in this particular county than it does that county, or is it pretty flat?
No, each area in Southwest Florida has its own issues. Mm-hmm. There are issues that one law enforcement agency may be dealing with more, say narcotics, and then other areas, say up in Charlotte County, where there's not a lot of violent crime in Charlotte County. More drugs, narcotics, things like that, and burglaries. Burglaries are huge. All around in all 5 counties, and thefts. especially this time of year, oh boy, we get a lot this time of year. And the great thing is that when we put something out to the media or on Facebook or on YouTube about, hey, this is somebody that we're looking for, they've committed a theft, a robbery, what have you, the number of tips that we get in and the feedback that we get in from the public is just phenomenal.
Really?
Because these people that are committing crimes, they live in the same neighborhoods that we live in. They go shopping at the same stores that we go to. They live in and amongst us. So there's a high probability that you're going to recognize somebody that we're looking for. And all you have to do is reach out to us anonymously, and your information is going to put cash in your hands.
What are some ways people can reach out to you? We want you to call those numbers out as well on the website.
Yep. The main way is through the hotline. It's 1-800-780-TIPS, 1-800-780-8477. We have the P3 TIPS mobile app. We know that people love to do things from their phone. It's quick, it's easy. You can upload information, video, right there from your phone or on the website, www.southwestfloridacrimestoppers.com. There's a link there that you can provide a tip that will automatically generate you that code number that we were talking about earlier. So 3 very simple ways that you can reach out to us in whatever way you feel most comfortable.
And one of the things I want to certainly emphasize is that, and you talked about this before, is that don't feel like you are bugging Crime Stoppers or that you are, paranoid or what have we. You guys want those tips. They're not disturbing you. They're not, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But you say if you're suspicious and you think something is going on or happened, you recognize somebody, go ahead and make that call anyway.
Yeah, even if it's something suspicious, I always tell people, trust your gut. You may not know for a fact that the house down the street that there's narcotics going in and out, but if you've got that gut feeling that something's not right, let us know, because we would rather have you reach out to us and provide that information. It turned out to be nothing than for you to go, you know what, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to get involved. And you turn out you've got a drug dealer living 3 houses down from you. There's no penalty if your tip doesn't pan out. I mean, it could just be flat out wrong information, and that's fine. We would rather get that information, vet it, investigate it, and check it out to see if there is something going on there. And again, that money is the motivator. There is a small percentage of people that will just call us because it's the right thing to do. They're trying to be a good citizen. But the lion's share of people, they want that money, and that's fine. We've got it. We want it. We want to pay it out.
Give me an estimate of what kind of dollars you can get if you report something and it works out that it's true.
It could be as small as $50, and that would be for something like a student having a jewel or something on a school campus, to $3,000, and that would be for a homicide. We recently increased our reward from $1,000 to $3,000. $1,000 is good money, but in this day and age, $3,000 is going to speak a little bit more. And when we have so many cold cases, homicides, violent crimes happening in our community, money talks, like you said. So if that $3,000 is going to encourage you a little bit more to provide that information,
it's encouraging me. You mentioned school, a jewel or something in school that prompted my thinking about a student, because unfortunately we're starting to have different things that happen in the schools, and we can get alerted to suspicious things in the locker or some students saying something on social media, whatever. All that falls under Crime Stoppers?
Absolutely. After Parkland happened in February of this year, it really brought attention to things that are going on in our schools. And students have got a wealth of information about what's happening in their school, in their neighborhood, in their homes. So we have that vehicle, and for students, they use the mobile app more than anything. But they have an easy way to provide us with information like, hey, I know that this student's got a knife on campus, or hey, this student has got weed in their backpack. Those kind of things are making the schools safer, and the students are actually very good about providing tips, and then they get money too.
And one of the things I love about all of that is, again and again, who you are remains anonymous. Tell us about your efforts to make some of the things that are in place that let people know that you will be anonymous.
Yeah, we don't have call tracing. We don't record our phone calls. We don't take down any kind of information. If somebody starts to provide like, hey, my name is, nope, we don't want to know who you are. And we've got a lot of software programs in place so that even if you're providing a tip online or through that mobile app, there is no way anybody's going to be able to take that IP address and get it back to you. Our call center is in Canada, and we do that by design because if somebody ever wants to subpoena our phone records, they're in another country. You can't do that. So every tipster, no matter what way they want to provide that tip, they are protected from beginning to end all the time. We've been doing this for 44 years now. Not once has the identity of a tipster ever been known.
The process is working. Give us some idea of the amount of people have been arrested or that it actually came to reality by people reporting on an annual basis?
It happens all the time, and we're talking violent crimes. Now, sometimes you may not hear that a big arrest has been made as a result of a Crime Stoppers tip, simply because we don't want to expose the tipster. We don't want Joe Public knowing that, hey, it was a tip. Now, if it's something like a theft, where there's a lot of people that know who that person was that's stealing from, the mall, we will let people know. But we're talking literally hundreds upon hundreds of drug dealers, thieves, robbers,
Hit and runs,
hit and runs. And you never know when you're going to recognize somebody that's wanted. Like I said before, they live in our communities. They go to the same places that we go to. So even though you may not know somebody personally, maybe you just know, hey, where they work, where they hang out. That information can absolutely lead to an arrest. So even the smallest piece of information is very helpful.
911 and the Crime Stoppers number are two different things.
Yes.
People, when they want to log into Crime Stoppers, be able to get that money back, they can't get it by dialing 911, but you still don't discourage people from dialing 911. Kind of unpack that for me.
Yeah, if something is happening, an emergency situation, life or death, it's happening right now, you need to call 911, absolutely. But you need to also remember that if you call 911, you're known. Whether you say what your name is or not, your name is popping up on there, and you're a known quantity once you call 911. Crime Stoppers, you are never going to be a known quantity. We never take down anything at all about you. So it's two different systems. 911 absolutely has its place and needs to be used in certain circumstances, but maybe the next call you make after that emergency call, 1-800-780-TIPS.
Final question. If you dial 911 first, you're not going to get any money.
No. You are not. And we fight that. We have that argument with people. They just, it's a constant education process that we are not 911. 911, they're going to know who you are. We will never know who you are.
Outstanding. Let me bump you out again. And thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
And continue. Looking forward to getting you back in the future. I always love these interviews.
Thanks, Lee.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Trish, Routte, and all the fine people here in the area who are associated with Crime Stoppers, who are keeping us safe, who are doing it. We come back, we have Girl Talk with Tashika Perry. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching Lee Pitts Live. Of course, I'm Lee Pitts, the host of Lee Pitts Live. We're here at the Holiday Inn Airport in Fort Myers, and I want you to continue to watch Lee Pitts Live on television, on YouTube, and of course, listen to us on radio. But to get all of your shows to come right to you, just click on that subscribe button right there, and Lee Pitts Live will come right to you, your time, your way. That's Lee Pitts Live.